Grace Center's 2020 virtual open house celebration on National Grandparents' Day. I'm Tara Stegner, Director of Community Relations.
And I'm Renee Knight, Director of Operations.
And we are so thrilled to have you join us in our virtual open house tour. Normally, Grace Center's open house is here at the center and we have everyone come to our building. So we can't do that this year, but what we can do is virtually take you through the center, show you our program, introduce you to our staff, and tell you about all the activities we do here.
Since March, we have been mandated by the state to be closed, but as of this month, we have been approved to start offering alternative services such as telehealth and limited in-house programs. During our closure, we have been working hard to transform our building into 3 separate wings so we can safely serve our participants both now and when we fully reopen.
So on this virtual tour, we're going to take you wing by wing and show you what we mean. Come on.
At each of our entry points into the building, we have these sanitation stations. It will be a requirement for everyone to wear a mask and go through a check-in process.
Let's head on in and introduce you to our first staff member.
Hi, welcome to Grace Center. I'm Rebecca. I'm the administrative assistant here at Grace Center, and this front desk is my workspace. When we reopen, I'll be helping to facilitate our new COVID process for this wing. So in addition to getting to greet every participant when they come in, I will be taking their temperature with a no-touch thermometer. I'll be making sure each participant has a face covering over their mouth and nose. If they don't have one, we have paper masks and gaiters that we can supply. I'll also be asking them some questions with regard to infectious disease and whether they've had any exposure or symptoms. I will be having them sanitize their hands and any assistive devices that they have with them, like a cane or a walker. And then I would escort them to the nearest restroom where I would ensure that they would wash their hands for 20 seconds so that they could have a safe and fun day here at the Grace Center. Thank you for visiting.
All right, we're going to go over to our first room here. So this is where Grace Center would offer massage therapy to our participants as an added amenity. And this was available ongoing, but we have a different use for this room now.
Right. During COVID-19, this room will be used as an isolation room. In the event that someone arrives at the center and we have determined that they are symptomatic, we will isolate them in this room until we are able to provide a ride home for them.
Now let's head over to the next room across the hall. This is Grace Center's gift shop. It's called From Grace with Love, and it's an ongoing fundraiser. Normally, this gift shop was open anytime that Grace Center was open. However, of course, during COVID-19, we won't be able to have it open to the public, but we can't wait to reopen it someday. Everything you see in this gift shop is handmade, much of it by our participants themselves, our staff and volunteers, or we have had some items donated. But everything that's sold here, all the money goes directly back into our activities program. And our participants themselves, through what we call our Participant Advisory Forum, they get to decide how that money's spent. So they get to be in charge of how those dollars are put back into the program. And for example, one of the things they like to do is sponsor a trip to the beach. So we couldn't do this without the support of volunteers and our board of directors, and we can't wait to reopen it someday. Now we're going to head over to our wood shop, which is right across the way. This is kind of the garage of Grace Center. This is where we like to fix things, tinker, build. We do all things woodworking here, including wood burning and crafts. But we also have our rock club. So you might be wondering what this is. This is our tumbler, which is going right now and tumbling some of our rocks. We take those rocks and we turn them into craft projects like jewelry making and other things like that. So this is just another wonderful activity space where we can engage our participants. And again, normally during non-COVID times, we really rely on the help of volunteers and woodworking experts to help us bring this program together. So now we'll head down the hall and we'll show you the rest of this wing.
As we're traveling into the next wing, you'll notice along the floor that we have reminders of social distancing. Also, I want to point out that you'll see throughout our building that we have automatic dispensers that will dispense hand sanitizer and reminders to use that hand sanitizer. We've also installed throughout our building these medical grade air purifiers that regulate by a sensor the air quality in real time.
We're going to head around the corner here and go into our next room, which is our dining room. And we'd like to introduce you to another one of our staff members.
Hi, I'm JP. One of my roles here at Grace Center is the Dietary Aid. This is our kitchen, and this is our new modified dining rooms. The dining rooms aren't the only thing that Grace Center has changed. We've also modified the way we serve our nutritious lunches. They'll now be in individual recyclable or compostable containers. We will be serving soup, sandwiches, salads, and individually wrapped snacks. Hope to see you soon.
As JP had mentioned, we have modified our dining room. Rather than having one giant dining room, we have put in a temporary wall which has been provided to us by Bob Grant Construction.
Next, we're going to head out to show some of our activity rooms. This is Grace Center's Mse Therapy Room. MSE stands for Multi-Sensory Environment. So as you see, this room has lots of things going on, lots of LED lighting. We also intentionally have lots of textures and tactile objects. We have aromatherapy, and we can play ambient noise. This room's purpose is to provide a therapeutic space for people who might struggle with sensory overload. Sometimes when someone has dementia or brain injury, their brain's ability to regulate sensory input can be affected and not working properly. So they are unable to filter all the different noises and sounds and smells that they're encountering, and that can become overstimulating at times. So a staff member, if a participant is experiencing that, a staff member can work one-on-one with one of those participants and provide one sensory input at a time. This is using snoezelen technology developed in the Netherlands, and which we were able to secure through grant writing. And studies have shown that 20 minutes in an MSE room can have up to 4 hours afterward of decreased, a benefit of decreased anxious behavior. So this is a really special space that we have available. If it's not in use, it's open to any participant to just come and enjoy and explore. Or sometimes we have karaoke in here, because why not? Okay, we're going to come across the hall now. And as we do, I'd like to point out our art on this wall. These are displays of our art projects in collaboration with Linus Pauling Middle School, which just happens to be a few blocks away. And so we have the students walk over before COVID-19 and do intergenerational art activities with us. We're really passionate about bringing the generations together at Grace Center. So not only do we have Linus Pauling Middle School students coming every month, but we also have daycare children coming to celebrate holidays with us. We have high school students doing health occupation rotations, and we have college interns interning with us. So we love having all ages at our center. And once this pandemic has resolved, we can't wait to resume that part of our program. Next, we're going to head down the hall, and we're passing Grace Center's main offices. And as we come along, Renee is pointing out,
We have lined our hallways to divide them so that we have one-way traffic and to continue that social distancing component.
next we're going to pop into an office and meet one of Grace Center's key staff members.
Hi, I'm Brianna, Grace Center's office coordinator. One of my roles here at the center is helping manage participant schedules. When we reopen, each participant and program staff member will be assigned to a specific wing in our building. This is so that they'll only interact with other participants and program staff members of that wing. Each wing will not exceed the indoor gathering limits set by our governor's office. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Bree.
I want to point out that we have signage throughout the building reminding individuals to wear face masks and wash their hands.
And as you come in, the first thing you're going to notice is our Vera. This is a sit-to-stand transfer device that helps participants who are in wheelchairs safely get up and transfer. We are a no-lift facility, so if a participant were to require 2 people to assist them in that, we will use the Vera. And again, it's just a great, easy, safe way for them to get up out of their wheelchair and transfer maybe to use the restroom or get into a comfy recliner. And it helps keep both our participants and our staff safe.
And to help reduce high touch points, we've installed touchless faucets and touchless soap dispensers.
And then last but not least, we wanted to show you in the locker room our shower space. So this room is where we're able to assist participants with their showers. This is a very important part of our services. Some participants can no longer shower safely at home anymore, and so it's so key that they have access to a shower. Maybe it's because their bathroom is not set up correctly for them to navigate in their wheelchair, or perhaps they don't have a caregiver who has the strength to assist them with the transfers to get into the shower. So this is something we've been providing for years, and we will continue to provide during COVID-19. And as you can imagine, a shower is not only so important for someone's emotional well-being, feeling good about how they look, it's also so key to their physical health. So we're so glad to be able to provide this.
We want to assure you that when staff is working in close proximities to our participants, such as in the shower, they will be wearing proper PPE equipment.
All right, we're going to head back out here and see some more activity rooms. Next up, we're going to check into the arts and crafts room and have you meet another one of our wonderful staff members.
Oh, hey, I'm Chase, program coordinator for the Grace Center. One of the many things I do here is help facilitate the art program. The reason I gravitate towards art is it's an effective tool to deal with difficult emotions and memories. That's why we painted this art room yellow. It's a color that promotes happiness and creativity. We have a variety of media to work with: colored pencil, paint, pastel, charcoal, even a multitude of items for collage and craft projects. We also provide a certified Memories in the Making watercolor art program that is certified through the Alzheimer's Association.
Awesome, thank you, Chase.
As Chase had mentioned, artwork that our participants are doing, here is some of that artwork displayed on our participant gallery.
Next up, we're going to stop in our main gym. So this is the gym for this wing. As you can see, it has room for chair exercises such as weights, chair yoga, range of motion and flexibility exercises. But you'll also notice some music equipment. So this room will not only be used for group fitness, but it's also used for live music performances. So staff members will be able to play music for our participants, and we'll also be virtually bringing in our local artists so they can do performances for our participants as well. In the back here, you'll see that we have taken our new step machines and we have divided them up between each wing. So every wing will have 2 new step machines available for our participants to get their workouts in. And between the 2 new step machines, you'll see our ambulators. So these devices here are a really important tool for our post-rehab specialty in particular. These are a device created by our friends at Second Step, and they enable individuals who are normally wheelchair bound to get up and safely walk. They wear a harness and it connects at 4 points on this frame, and a staff member can walk behind them. It's really empowering to see participants be able to stand and walk, and it's a huge part of what we do at Grace Center. So this will still be available in this wing. We're going to go across the hall now and see our last room in this wing. And this is the main lounge. So this is where Grace Center normally had a room entirely full of recliners, and it was a space for our participants to rest. For this wing, we have half of the room designated for resting, a place where they can relax, take a cat nap if need be. But then we took the back half of the room and we set it up as a space for group activities. So you'll see we have a game set up here, and this is just another space in this wing where participants can do things together and use that table space.
Such things as games, card games, things of that nature, in between usage, they will be sanitized, and during, we will encourage all of our participants to hand sanitize their hands before playing a game.
And last but not least, we're gonna head out to the garden. So this will be the outdoor gathering space for this wing. As you can see, we have lots of seating area and ample shade. We're growing things like blueberries on this side of the garden, strawberries. So as we walk down, you'll see lots of opportunities for participants to enjoy nature. They get this space all the way down to the end of the gate here. You'll see some handiwork from our other parts of our program, like birdhouses from our wood shop, ceramic pieces from our art program, and also, like I mentioned, our strawberry towers and our grape trellis in the back. As we approach our raised beds, you'll see that they have been designed specifically with our participants in wheelchairs in mind, so they can come right up to the bed, and it's at the perfect height for them to get their hands in the dirt and get involved. At the end of our garden here, you'll see we have our potting bench. So this is just one more space where participants can get involved and help with the gardening here.
Also, during non-COVID time, we team up with OSU Extension. They provide a master gardener and a master preserver to come in and do sessions with our participants, who then create canning goods that are sold in our gift shop.
So that concludes the first wing. We'll see you at the entry point of the next wing. Welcome to the entry point of our next wing.
As you notice, we have marked out 6 feet distancing as people can line up as they enter into the building.
Let's head on in.
The first thing we ask when people enter into the building is to apply hand sanitizer. We make sure that they rub it in thoroughly until it's dry and get all in between their fingers and tops of their hands. From there, we will take their temperature with a touchless thermometer, record that temperature, and ask them a series of screening questions. Once that's completed, we then take a hand sanitizer wipe and wipe down all touch surfaces, including the thermometer, the pen, and any other areas that have been touched. We then ask individuals to move themselves into a restroom and wash their hands for at least 20 seconds.
The first room you'll see here is our counseling room. So before COVID, Grace Center offered a twice weekly support group for our participants called the Wellness Group. It was facilitated by a OSU Masters in Counseling student. And after the wellness group, there was an opportunity to meet one-on-one with the counselor and have an individual session. Thankfully, thanks to technology, we're going to be able to sustain that when we reopen, and participants will be able to come in and we will have the counselor set up on a laptop virtually, and they can meet and still have that counseling. Now we're going to go over across the hall to our East Lounge. This is one of the activity spaces for this wing. There's a little bit of resting opportunities in this room, of course our billiards, and we also in the corner have our puzzle table. Participants will have their own individual puzzle that we can roll up, and that way we're reducing touch points. So we're just trying to be extra careful during these times. So this is just, again, another gathering space for this wing where participants can enjoy themselves and socialize. Last, for the activity spaces, we have a couple more rooms. And as we head down this hall, we'd like to introduce you to another one of our amazing staff members.
Aloha, I'm Rue. I am a program specialist at Grace Center. Welcome to the salon. One of the things I do at Grace Center is I do free haircuts, nail care, and non-medical pedicure. I have over 35 years experience as a barber, an esthetician, and beauty consultant. I love this part about my job because it helps the participants feel good about themselves and lifts them up. They walk out of the Grace Center's salon feeling confident and great about how they look.
All right, we're gonna head down this hall and hang a left. And we're gonna go into the main gathering space for this wing, the multi-purpose room. And we have another staff member here we'd like you to meet.
Hello, I'm Kat, and I'm one of Grace Center's program specialists. Prior to COVID-19, we used this room primarily in the evening as a gathering place at the end of the day where we would play games and socialize and sing. And now it is the main gathering place in this wing for our everyday group activities. And our activities are designed specifically to help with maintaining cognition and also to engage and stimulate the participants. And we're able to do all that while keeping the participants safe and well cared for. So thank you for joining me in the multipurpose room.
As we head out of the multi-purpose room, we're going to go down the hall and show you the gym for this wing. So this used to be Grace Center's conference room and was used for monthly board meetings, our weekly staff meetings, and we also rented it and made it available to other organizations and for free to nonprofits. But now, as you can see, we've created this space for exercise. We have our seated chair exercise area, our 2 new step machines available for the participants to use. So again, every wing has a space for working out as well as resting and activities, and an outdoor space. So if you want to come over here to the window, we'll point out the outdoor gathering space for this wing. So as you look out, you'll see that this is actually our memorial courtyard. This was created as a fundraiser for our capital campaign, where benches, the flagpole, and engravable stones were available for purchase for people to make in honor or in memory of someone they love. This was actually a concept that our participants came up with from the advisory forum, and it was a way that they could both honor our country, our troops, as well as just make it a space for people to honor others. And all the funds after the cost go straight to our capital campaign. So our board of directors really got behind this idea and made it possible. As the outdoor gathering space for this wing, staff members will be accompanying our participants to this space, and that way they can safely enjoy the outdoors. So that completes our second wing, 2 down, 1 to go.
We are now at the back of our building, and this is the location for our third and final wing. Participants will be dropped off and picked up at this location.
Come on in.
As we enter into this area, you will see our garden space that has been created for our participants here. There's a nice seating area where they can relax and enjoy, and we have raised beds here, which this is actually being developed as a salsa bed.
So of course, this is the outdoor gathering space for this wing. We'll show you the rest of it before we head on inside. You'll note that we have paved pathways that go under the trees so our participants in wheelchairs can still enjoy that space of our garden. And one of the things we always offer at Grace Center is animal therapy, collaborating with humane societies and 4-H clubs. We have our own pets here, our beloved chickens, Butterball and Lucky. And the participants really enjoy getting to help take care of our chickens and of course, check for the fresh eggs. So this is Grace Center's chicken coop where participants can come and look for fresh eggs. And then we have one more raised garden bed for the participants to enjoy and help garden in. So we'll head back over to this side of the garden. Like Renee mentioned, our participants will be coming in through that back gate, and then they're going to come straight into the building into our main entry point here. And they're going to go through that same check-in process that each participant goes through at each wing entry point. After you.
As participants enter this wing, our staff will check them in as the procedures that we have shown earlier in our video. After participants have gone through the screening process, their coats will be hung individually in protected garment bags and have individual spaces to keep their items.
As we move down through our final wing, we'll stop off in what we call the park gym. And this is again a space where we have our chair exercise area and our new step machines in the back. Across from the park gym, we have our Betty McCauley Library and another staff member that we would like you to meet.
Well, hello there. My name is Debbie. I'm one of Grace Center's program specialists here. And I was just going to pick out a country to travel to because I am Grace Center's cultural and travel tour guide. I take Grace Center's participants on tours through other countries and cultures, through travel videos, presentations, and group discussions. And we do collaborate with Corvallis Multicultural Literacy Center to gain access to their wonderful travel and culture kits from around the world, which are full of wonderful artifacts to provide our participants with a hands-on experience.
Thank you, Debbie. Now, the reason that this is called the Betty McCauley Library is because Betty McCauley, all those years ago, back in 1982, helped start Grace Center along with other people from Grace Lutheran Church. To this day, Betty still serves on our board of directors, and she is now a retired librarian, so we thought it would be a perfect room to name in her honor. It was actually a wonderfully successful fundraiser for our capital campaign. So in this room, we have our resting area for participants in this wing. That includes our record player, our fireplace, and our bookshelf. And then across on the other side, we have our activity table space where there's space for them to do group activities. Now we're going to go across the hall again and show you a few other places in this wing. As we walk by, though, you'll notice we have lots of restrooms, and each wing is equipped with ample restrooms that are all ADA accessible.
And again, just a reminder that any time that our staff is working in a close proximity with a participant, in particularly in a restroom, they will be using proper PPE.
And speaking of PPE, we have an expert here with us. We'd like to introduce you to our nurse at Grace Center.
Hi, I'm Monique, the nurse here at Grace Center. As always, I'll be overseeing the health monitoring of the participants here, while also ensuring Grace Center is following the recommended standard precautions at this time, including proper PPE for staff and participants.
Thank you, Monique. We definitely couldn't do this without her. Across from Monique's office, we have another activity room and yet another staff member we'd love you to meet.
Hi, I'm Denise and I'm the medication aide at Grace Center. When I'm not helping the nurse and or giving participants their medications, I am helping with the activities. This is Grace Center's textile room and is one of the places we carry items for our gift shop, like pot holders, tea cozies, and hand warmers. We also provide knitting, weaving, sewing, and quilting.
Thanks, Denise. Our last room for this wing. And this is the dining room for this wing. So this is a space where participants can have their lunch, and of course we have our coffee cart, and each wing of course is equipped with a space for them to be able to have lunch and enjoy our snack programs. So that concludes this wing, and it concludes our virtual tour for our 2020 open house celebration on National Grandparents' Day. We hope it was informative and you got to learn about how Grace Center is adapting and changing to meet the needs. Normally in our open house celebration, we would have lots of activities for you to participate in. So we couldn't do that, but what we can offer is on Grace Center's YouTube channel, we have over 70 videos that you can choose from, highlighting exercise programs we do here and all different types of activity, starring all of the staff that you just got to meet. So we hope you can check that out and enjoy it. Our YouTube channel is really easy to find. Just search Grace Center for Adult Day Services in YouTube and it should pop right up. Or you can access it from our website or any of our social media pages.
Thank you for joining us on this Grace Center tour. If you would like more information about our services, please visit our newly redesigned website at gracecenter-corvallis.org or contact us at 541-754-8417.
And normally Grace Center's open house is a fundraiser. So first of all, we have to say a huge thank you to all of our sponsors who you'll see after this. But we also want to give you the opportunity, if you would like to make a donation, it's really simple. Just go to our website, like Renee mentioned, gracecenter-corvallis.org, and you can see a donate button right there on the homepage and make a donation electronically, or you can always mail us a check. So thank you again for joining us on our tour, and we hope that you stay well and be safe.